Victoria Monét was performing, and I was in the front, and I was, because I was in the media area.
Who invited you to
Soul Bloom.
Soul Bloom invited you?
Soul Bloom invited me,
Okay.
and I just happened to be working with Victoria. It was like stars aligning. And so I'm in the front row. They come out, and she has their dance squad. I think it's just 3 people, but I was immediately blown away. No one, I've been talking to them for weeks. No one told me she could dance. I had no idea she could dance. I pulled my phone out. I still have this phone to this day. And I stood there for the entire set. My arms were about to fall off. I recorded the entire show on my phone. The part that I clipped down was the sum cut challenge.
Before you get into that, and we're not going to forget that, why are you not putting your phone down?
Because I didn't want to miss a second, because I knew that I knew that we were going to go viral from this moment, because not a single R&B artist that was popping at the time could dance like that. And if there's one thing people love, is a performer, especially, I mean, we talked about earlier, R&B is something you experience. That's why you have to go to the show. That's why you don't need very many monthly listeners to do a tour.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I was experiencing something that the world needed to experience.
I got Austin Dunn in the building. Pretty good chance most people don't know who you are who are watching this. But there's also a really good chance that if you know who Austin Dunn is, you know how this business works at an intimate level, because you've been operating as an agency, but also you do operate, in the shadows. You don't come to the forefront. You don't really talk about this stuff. You just get the business done. And when I talk about getting the business done, I'm talking about from a digital marketing perspective. Fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. But what people should also know is that you are the founder of R&B Music, which is on Instagram, which has got 1 million+ followers on Instagram, and is incredible. It's an incredible page, I would say, for great curation and taste when it comes to R&B music, and you're the person who manages that page. How did that come about?
To be honest with you, I feel like it's such a far way to go back, but it was from passion. Like, no one was doing it. There was spaces for rap. There was spaces for, even at that time, there was spaces for gossip. There was spaces for news. You basically get everything, but there was nothing at all for R&B, for Black music in that space. And also something else, there's like meme pages as well, like Black meme pages. There's rap pages. I was like, how is it that they basically have a monopoly on our culture, and they're serving it back to us, making money off of it? So I was like, no one's doing R&B. I'm early. So I went and got R&B music. And I was just like, I'm going to make sure that this stays with us and that we are the voices in this space.
Yeah.
That was probably the beginning, but then also money, because I knew that if you build it, they will come. Like, the money didn't come at first at all.
Okay.
But it was just like, if you stick with this for 5 to 6 years, it will.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. There's 2 things here that I want to ask you about. So for clarity, you went and you grabbed the IG handle that said R&B Music, okay?
So, yes.
Okay, no, so what does that entail?
So found this guy. I DM'd him for R&B Music, and I was like, hey, you're not using it? Like, I'm a big fan. I want to build a page. And he's like, you know what? Like, I want you to
go and
do your thing, because no one's using it.
Yeah.
And so I linked up with him. He actually lived in my old town. It was near us, which was also kind of divine, because he was at a McDonald's that I used to go to as a child when I lived in Porterville, California.
Oh, crazy.
So I drove from LA to Porterville, met up. We exchanged the page. And
oh, you did it in person?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Because you have to get the email, you have to get everything.
You couldn't do that online?
Well, no.
Got you.
You can.
Fair enough.
But he was so close. It was 30 minutes. Not 30 minutes, but it was like an hour 30.
Yeah.
And I also had friends in town, so I was like, I'll just come link with you.
Link with him.
Yeah.
And get the page.
Yeah. So I got the page, 4,000 followers. And from there, it was very much trial and error. I knew so @rap was like which @rap is the big rap platform, was the North Star. I was like, I know what they're doing. You basically just, to give them credit, they kind of built the pathway for me, but I did it in a different way. Whereas I was like, all right, I'm gonna do what they're doing, but for R&B, except for R&B at the time, this is 2017. There's not that much going on. I think Daniel Caesar had just dropped Freudian, yeah. And so it's like that buzz is kind of dead. There is literally no one posted about it on the internet. That was just something that moved within the culture, like people passing like that. There was no like Daniel Caesar album post on the internet at that time that I remember, other than on his page.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Daniel Caesar content before you heard the music?
To be honest, I wasn't even looking at IG seeding like that. And this is what we're talking about here, just so we're clear. What we're talking about is a real business that's become in the last, you would know better than I, of IG seeding, which is essentially content showing up on different platforms that are outside of your own platform. So Daniel Caesar is an example we're talking about. You're asking me if I saw Freudian content outside of it? No, I didn't. But I wasn't even looking for it, to be honest with you. But the story of Freudian was before the TikToks and the Instagram algorithms of the world. That was a great team that built independently and had some really key partnerships, one of them being Apple Music and Carl Cherry. And like Carl Cherry really helped Daniel, Matthew, and Jordan break that music, but it wasn't through any of the...
It wasn't through Instagram because there was nowhere for that stuff to get posted. And so my idea was I was just going to take all the R&B, like at that time I was posting Daniel Caesar.
I wouldn't say it wasn't through Instagram, sorry.
It probably wasn't like, the way, no, like in the sense that the way, there was no Reels, there was no TikTok, there was no going viral. Like going viral on Instagram was not like, viral, when I first started, going viral was rare at the time.
Yes.
Like it was rare.
Very.
You weren't just like going, now every day someone goes viral.
Correct.
Because of the algorithms.
Yeah.
But at the time, I heard, I mean, I feel like it was just literally, like I said, people just passing Daniel Caesar around.
It was word of mouth.
Whenever I started the page, I was like, I'll build a page for Daniel Caesar to come in for, I think Lucky Day might have been near that. It was a year later. Ari Lennox, who are some people I started posting at first. Maybe Snow Allegra at the time. Giveon started to do something at that time. And so I would just take the new R&B artists and just keep posting them over and over again. But then to actually build, because no one really cared about them, to actually build followers, I would post Sade, I would post Beyonce, I'd post Rihanna, and I would post Mariah Carey. So I used, what I did, the idea was at the time, use the old music that everyone already had a relationship with, and then keep posting that. But in between, post the new music so people can discover. And that's how I got followers at first, because they were like, they would come for the old music, stay for the new music. And that was the strategy. And it was very hard to grow back then, because you could, like I said, if you start a page right now, it's so much easier to get 1 million followers than it was from 2017, 2016. Way easier.
So many questions. When did it start to really go for you? When did it connect? Do you remember if there was a specific post where it was like, oh, this is now, it's on?
It was a Sade post.
Okay.
The Sade post gave us like, there's 2 moments. But one of the moments was Sade, where we got like 80,000 followers off of one post.
Wow.
That was crazy.
What year was that?
2018-ish, late 2018, early 2019.
Oh shit, yeah.
And then another one was actually 2021, was a Teddy Swims post that got us like 150,000 followers. That's a whole nother story. The Teddy Swims post was the biggest post we've ever done.
In 2021?
Around Lose Control. It was like right when he, maybe around when he dropped Lose Control, we basically got, hey, we have this Teddy Swims thing. Do you like it? And then that's a whole story we can get into though.
What's the story?
Well, so me and my wife were running the page at the time together, and we'd been running it. This is like 4 or 5 years, and at this time we have like, I think like 400,000 or 500,000 followers. So we were cooking, and we had like a very strong base. It was actually what's crazy is with the algorithm back then, it was more active with 500,000 followers than it is now.
Yeah, I know.
Because the game is just is different.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a little break, because if you're listening and thinking, fuck, I could really use some guidance right now, and you're serious about building your career in the music industry, I'm now offering private strategy sessions. These are fully personalized, just you and me tackling whatever you need in your career. With over 16 years of experience working with artists, managers, and brands, I can help you map out your next moves. Now, whether that's structuring your team, scaling your brand, navigating the industry, even figuring out what steps to take, whether to go to a distributor or to a record label and figuring out what are the best deal points, I can help you with your career with where you're at. You can now book a one-on-one with me through my Calendly, and you can find the link in the description. Now let's get back to the pod.
The followers to
Doesn't really matter.
doesn't matter.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But in your mind, did you like, I need more followers, I need more followers? It's like, no, it's actually changed. You need,
So true.
you'd rather have engaged followers. I'd rather have, like, if I was to build it again, now I have so many followers that it's actually hard to, everyone has different likes and wants and what they want to see. It's hard to serve 1 million people exactly what they want every time.
Yes.
Especially with R&B, because it's R&B has so many different flavors. Like R&B fans, they're not like, I'm going to just listen to all this music. R&B fans are very siloed.
Very specific.
I like El Mean, but I hate Bryson Tiller. You know what I mean? There's people like this. Like they will listen to El Mean, Cleo Soul. They'll listen to like Destin Conrad, like cool, soft R&B. And then like maybe they'll throw on some Bryson Tiller P&D. But I think this side, actually, the P&D side is more receptive this way. But maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
From what I see, but from what I've seen, it's like there's like categories of R&B and people float across a little bit. Whereas in rap, I actually don't see that as much. I feel like rap fans will like, they'll be open. So they're younger, maybe that's why. They'll be open to listen to way more things.
Really?
They'll go from Playbook Cardi to Travis Scott to Drake to Kendrick. Those are completely, all those things are completely different. And they will like, I honestly think they will like all four. I don't feel like R&B fans are like that. They're like, they'll let you know, I do not like that and I love that.
So where does the Teddy Swim audience fit in of these?
Teddy Swim's audience, so Teddy Swim's story, we go just that. So he just dropped Lose Control. Apparently he had dropped a few songs before. And we kind of had a conversation with not the label, but with an agency, and they're like, hey, we got this Teddy Swims, would you guys be down to cover this? And we're like, yeah, sure. My wife got a hold of it, and she was like, oh my God, this man's voice is incredible. And so they gave us one slide. They gave us just Lose Control. It was like a 15-second clip of Lose Control. And we're like, well, this isn't going to do anything. So what my wife did was she went to the Teddy Swims, typed him in. We found out he had like 1 million follower YouTube. I think his IG was also 1 million followers at the time. But all of those fans were there because of his covers.
Crazy.
So she went through every single one of his covers. I'm talking, he has like so many of them. And she grabbed the Mario one, Let Me Love You, the Shania Twain one. She grabbed, I don't know, maybe a Neo one, but basically all this R&B ones that we could find. We put it together in the post. We led with the Mario one. And what we did that I think that is what people miss in marketing nowadays. A lot of people were like, market the song, market the song. We marketed him as a human and as an artist and as a talent. So we started with Mario, we swiped to Shania Twain, we swiped to this, then we swiped to the new song. And I think the headline was something like, and his original music is crazy good too. This is Lose Control, mind you.
Yeah.
And no one knows what the song is. I heard, I was like, that's a good song. I had no idea that was going to be the song. It's still huge to this day. It's still huge. And so Lose Control was in the middle of the slides, and then you swipe to more covers. Basically, we take the user or our audience on a journey, not just, hey, new song, run it up.
Right.
New artist, new song, run it up.
That doesn't work.
No, like for a lot of times with R&B, specifically with R&B, they want to see if you can sing first.
Yeah.
So like if you're doing auto-tune on your records, I would suggest highly to go shoot live raw videos of you singing as much as possible, because then they'll come back and be like, all right, I'll listen to this, because I know I'm not about to get bamboozled when I pull up to your show. Because R&B, like the people that will always tour are the performers. R&B had like those tour, like I've seen R&B fans have like basically mud. 800K million monthly listeners, go do 2,000 people room.
Easy.
That's easy.
Easy.
But then you'll see rappers cancel their tours
all the time.
They can't even, and they think because they have 10 million monthly listeners, that's what I'm talking about. Rappers, the people that listen, they just listen to everything.
Got you.
They don't like, the people that are listening to R&B, they are selective. And if they like it, they love it, and they pull up and they pay.
What's your theory on that disconnect when it comes to rappers and having 10, 50 million monthly listeners, but they can't sell out they can't do a show, they can't do a tour, cancel it?
I think it's just the nature of the genre. Like R&B is meant to be heard live. And rap, I'm good on many rappers. I've only been to one rapper concert that I ever go back to, and it's Cole. I would never go to another one back to again.
Really?
Eminem was good, but I wouldn't go back.
Okay.
Cole, and I've seen a lot. Cole is the only one.
Okay.
I really don't think rap music is a good live. Not because in a small venue on the come up, yes. When they start hitting those big venues, you're like, they're just screaming and it's loud and it's echoey.
Yeah.
So Teddy, we ended up doing that post, and we kind of, and I'm telling you why we did it like that, because that's how audiences receive things. A lot of people do market, and I think the energy is shifting on this, but for a good 5, 6, 7 years, every single label is like, I want this song on every page, and I want every page to announce that this song is out now. And it's eventually the people that are, I call them users. I don't know why I keep calling them users, but the people on Instagram, I'm gonna call them users. The users of Instagram are hip to this tactic.
Yeah.
They know it's fake. They know it's fabricated. So what do you need an angle. You always need an angle, especially for a new artist. No one knew who Teddy Swims was. We did that post. We're like, oh, this post is doing good. It got like 20,000 likes in the first 3 hours. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is going crazy. The day later it has 100,000 likes.
Yeah.
3 days later it has 700,000 likes. And he grew 2 million followers in a matter of a month. So he went from 1 million to 3 million.
That's crazy.
From that moment.
Yeah.
And the song was baked in it, but people were like, this man is, and I have not heard, like, you hear his voice, you're mesmerized. And so, and there's more context to it. Like, that was just one online moment, but I've heard from everyone around him that he was out there hustling, doing tours where he was singing covers, apparently.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, especially if you don't have like a whole lot of material.
And then he was singing like Lose Control in the middle of his covers. And then apparently every city they would leave, they would see a bump and Lose Control on their Spotify.
You know who
they worked the record for real, but I helped them jump the internet.
Artists have done that time and time again, where they will play the cover so that there is an audience for it if you're not too familiar with who the artist is, and then they'll slide in their 1 or 2 records. And if the energy goes down, then they go back into the covers, right? I've heard there's one artist I just went and shot the pod with, and told me the same thing. So like, this happens all the time. But you know what we're talking about right here is just like, this is real digital marketing strategy, but this is storytelling. So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about you telling a story through digital marketing, because the way that people were positioning it, and when I say people, I'm going to say the major labels for the most part, didn't understand how this operated. How did you innately understand this? Take me to how you figured this out.
That question is actually interesting because I don't even know. I just feel like I think this is one of those things where you just understood and you didn't know why. Like I went to college. I went to be an accountant. I left college from being an accountant to pursue being a producer and an artist. And then I basically, while being a producer and artist, I had no friends that would support me. I'm 24 years old, 23, 24 years old. All my friends have jobs. So I have no like team around me to help pick me up. So I was like, okay, I need to get my music in front of people. And that is whenever I discovered I was good at marketing, because I was good at marketing myself. And I was so good at it that people were asking me, how did I get all these streams?
So what'd you do?
So the first thing I did, this is 2015 is when I started like dropping raps, and I just dropping music, and I was a SoundCloud head. So I was at that time, XXXTentacion, and who is it? Lil Pump's not even out yet. Who's another crazy throwback?
Chance?
Wi-Fi. No, this is, I started dropping after Chance, but Chance was the one that brought me to SoundCloud.
Okay.
I think he brought a lot of people to SoundCloud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He brought me to Tory Lanez brought me to SoundCloud as well.
Okay.
Tory Lanez, Chance, and then I discovered XXXTentacion, and I discovered all that like SoundCloud rap stuff. I didn't make music like them, but I was just watching them grow, and I saw what they were doing. They were basically clicking up, having friends online, and they were just reposting each other. But I wanted to take it a step further. So what I did is I downloaded this thing called the SoundCloud bot. And it was basically a program that you just plug in to your SoundCloud, right? And you could make, with that bot, I could make 10,000 accounts a day.
Word.
And I could follow 10,000 people a day and unfollow 10,000 people a day.
What?
So they got rid of it really quick, but that's how I started. So what I did was I literally found a folder of like hot girl folder, hot girls, random pictures of hot girls. And I uploaded 10,000 photos to 10,000 accounts, and I had them follow 10,000 accounts a day.
Okay.
And then eventually I built a network of 100,000 followers just like that.
Because they would follow you back.
Because guys would follow back because they thought the girls were hot, and then I would have my song reposted at the top.
Okay, I'm a little confused about how this all works.
So if you're sitting there as a kid on SoundCloud, you're listening to music, a girl follows you, you're going to at least check out her page.
Correct.
And this is why I'm saying I don't know why. I knew that that's how guys think. So I was like hacking the young mind. And I was a young mind, but I was like, I know guys, like if you see a hot girl you might not follow her, but you're going to go to her page and like, what is she listening to? Because back then it was like a profile, you'd repost songs. And my wife will love this. So guys, I knew guys would go to the page and then they would go to the section where all the songs were reposted. A lot of guys would follow the page and a lot of guys would just look at the songs, just see what being reposted. And so I would have my song in there and I would have other like a Drake song. Or like an big song. So I'd put my music in between the reposts.
Okay.
So you'd press play on the first one and then it would just play through. Or they're like, who is this new artist? And that's how I built my following at first. I got myself up to like, which is very hard on SoundCloud to even get followers at first, but I got myself up to like 6,000, 7,000 doing that. Then the next strategy I did with SoundCloud, how to get, and I was selling like $50 here, $100 here, getting people plays doing that. The next strategy I did was I actually took a PayPal loan and I bought a big SoundCloud account. It had 500,000 followers and it was called Hip Hop Essentials off of a guy from Miami. And so it was like $1,000, which at the time I thought was so much money.
It's a lot of money.
When you're broke.
It's a lot of money to somebody.
It was a lot at the time. Bought that page, and then I started building a business around it. Because then I was charging, because it was a bigger page, I was charging $100, and I was doing outreach. Like, yo, if you want to get there, I'd do that. But then I'd also funnel it with all these fake girl accounts. And so it would make it look like, oh, I'm really crushing it. All these girls are reposting me. So it was kind of like, it was working. They were really getting plays, but it also was just like a whole system. I would tell them like that's what was going on.
Yeah, of course.
They knew that. They knew the whole gig. But
because eventually you're getting real audiences.
Because these girls had followers. Every girl had like 100 to 300 followers.
Bro.
So that's like you're getting it, and I would do it over a period of 2 weeks. So and they would be posting real tracks in between. So it was always like every time I do something, it's not just like, it's very methodical. Like even with how I do anything on Instagram, anything I do on Twitter, it's thought out from the beginning to the end. And that's how I was always doing it. But that was step one. Step two was realizing that, you remember Dat Piff?
Of course.
Of course. A lot of people don't. Do you guys remember Dat Piff? No, see?
Younger. Yeah,
they don't know. They don't know what Dat Piff is. So Dat Piff is where you would go to get all the Lil Wayne's mixtapes. Basically, that's how I'd explain it.
All
mixtapes, but that was Wayne Wayne brought everyone to that. And in my age group, like the only reason the first mixtape I ever downloaded was a Wayne mixtape. And then from there you got Drake, you got Kendrick, you got Cole, you had so many, obviously there's Future and so many more. But whenever SoundCloud popped off, Dat Piff started dying. And I realized there's this hole because all that music, and Spotify, SoundCloud killed Dat Piff. But then Spotify didn't have the music from Dat Piff, and SoundCloud didn't either. So what I did was I took every single mixtape you can think that you've ever heard on Dat Piff, I took it and I brought it to SoundCloud. And I made a Drake account, I made a Lil Wayne account, I made a Kendrick account, I made a Beyonce account. I made it every single artist because at the time, labels didn't see value in SoundCloud. This is before Lil Pump blows up. This is before 6ix9ine. This is before Trippie Redd. About a year and a half. This is before Lil Uzi Vert. So this is like in just 6 months before Uzi Vert. So Uzi's about to launch while I'm doing this. And so within 6-7 months, I amassed 5 billion plays.
Wow.
Because understand, I have every Drake song, like all of his music is on there. All the mixtape music. And there's nowhere else to get it on the internet.
These were your pages that you made.
I owned.
Did any of these
No one ever reached out to me.
Why do you think?
Because SoundCloud was looked as, everyone was looking at Spotify. While everyone was looking at Spotify, there was a world going on at SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone missed That's why everyone missed Juice WRLD. They didn't miss him. Eventually, they popped their head up and they got him.
Yeah.
But I was like, anyone that was on SoundCloud at that time, you knew when you heard Juice and you knew when you heard X, like these guys were, these were not regular artists. This was like superstar level talent.
Yeah.
And the first time you heard them. And so and for us, it was confusing. We're like, how do these people not have label deals? Like that was very confusing for us. And then they got so big that you couldn't ignore them. So I made all those, fake accounts, but I didn't get paid for streams.
Right.
That's why I think they never took them down, because I never made money off of them.
Okay. But you were putting your.
But I was reposting my music and other people's music onto Drake, and motherfuckers thought it was Drake.
Crazy.
So that helped with streams. So I was able to, at that time, I was able to get you, if you were good, I could get you like 300,000 plays.
If you were good,
real plays.
If you were a good artist, could make.
If you had made good music, I could get you. If you made like a decent song, I could get you like 100,000 plus real plays.
This is what I'm talking about. This is why I wanted to sit down and have the conversation with you, because in my opinion, and a lot of people, and the people who know this world, you are the best at this. And this is why I wanted to talk to you, because of the mind that you have. So it's crazy to hear this. When people talk about the SoundCloud era, what you're doing is really breaking down how this all operated and worked.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I didn't have my hand on every single artist, but at the same time, I kind of did, because if I thought an artist was good, I was also curating the pages. So
exactly.
So on Drake and on Kendrick and all these accounts that people thought were real, I would actually post good music, because people, if it was just trash music over and over and over again, people would stop caring.
Right.
So in between the ads, I was posting people I thought were good.
Like who?
X.
Okay. Oh.
X was one of them. For sure. And Uzi, I was posting Uzi all the time.
But those teams reaching out to you?
No, they didn't. I was doing that just because it was good.
Interesting.
Because I needed to have some good on the page. So you have these 500,000 to million plus accounts reposting X. People thinking it's Drake, and people thinking they're getting co-signed by Drake. Like literally people would go on Twitter like, I can't believe Kendrick just reposted me on SoundCloud. I'm not even kidding. And no one was paying attention. But then
artists was saying that.
No, like the artists that would get reposted, but they would.
That's what I'm saying.
Some people would say that, and they wouldn't know that I just did it.
That's what I'm saying. The artist is reposted. I can't believe it, but it was actually you,
me.
Not knowing that.
And I just liked the song, and I would never say anything.
Crazy.
Yeah, because I knew if they knew it was me, they would ask me.
Right.
But they were like my friends, and I would just repost it and make them feel good. And then, because I didn't tell everyone that I owned it, because if every artist knew I owned it, they would try to. You know what I mean? I didn't, I basically, I don't know how it worked. I didn't tell everyone, that's for sure.
You still operate that way though.
Yeah. Because it's like, I mean, not anymore. But
after this conversation, why? I mean, a lot of people don't know that you operate R&B music.
Well, before we move to R&B music, I want to get back. I wanted to talk about the breaking point for SoundCloud and how I got into marketing.
Okay, please.
Because I was doing this just to pay my rent and to pay for studio time and to pay for mixes for myself.
Uh-huh.
And then I got introduced. The first person in the music industry, like of a prominent name I ever got introduced to, was Elliot Grange. I didn't know.
Wow.
And at the time, it was Elliot Grange, and it was strange music.
Yes.
And I if he was right here, I'd tell him right now. I walked into his office. He looked the same age as me. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Mind you, I don't know who Lucien Grange is. I didn't look up any of that.
Yeah.
So I looked at him, and I'm like, your company's called Strange Music? I'm like, have you heard of Tech Nine? He's like, yeah. I'm like, his company's called Strange Entertainment. I literally said, they're gonna sue you. And so, I mean, fast forward, he had to change his name.
Because when I met him, he was Strange Music as well.
So
at that point, he's just getting Trippie Redd.
Yeah.
And a then unknown 6ix9ine.
Yeah. So he had Trippie Redd. So we met him at the same time. So he had Trippie Redd. And so Trippie Redd, the first song they gave, they're like, I got introduced to them like, hey, we want to run something through your SoundCloud network. I was like, cool, let's do it.
Hold on. How did he find you? Because this is the thing about Elliot that I think a lot of people want to try and dismiss. They want to call him a Nepo baby and all that shit. It's like, yo, bro, you have no idea what you're talking about, because this guy, yeah, sure, he's the son of Lucien Grange, but this man, Elliot Grange.
Ear to the floor.
he's been a psycho. And I
for
mean that in
sure.
the most positive way of how in tune he is with this business.
For sure.
He's absolutely dialed in.
Yeah.
Like he knows this, he just understands digital marketing
Yeah.
very well.
100%.
Which is, yeah.
Oh, the fact that he even thought to talk to me was probably a good sign that he knew. He was the first person to give me a chance.
That's crazy.
And not even a chance. I didn't even know what I was doing. So he was the first one to see what, like, he heard the idea and they were like, yo, let's try it. So how we got introduced was a producer I was working with knew an artist that was at Strange. And then he was like, yo, you should meet my guy. Like, he runs all of our SoundCloud shit. That's why our shit's popping. And then you should bring over to Elliot. And like, and I didn't know who Elliot was, but you guys should use him for your artists. Like, it's gonna work. Like, he's literally seen it work. So the first artist they gave me was Trippie Redd. And I think the first song we ever ran was Chair Falling. And it didn't do bad. We ended up getting him like a few 100,000 plays, which I said, if the song's good, it'll do a few 100,000 plays. If the song is great, it will break. I didn't know how powerful it was until this moment. If the song is great, it will break. And they basically were like, oh, that song did good, but I don't think we believe in that song. And I was on Trippie Redd's page on the phone with them, or maybe it was a text, but basically I communicated to them. I was like, this song, Love Scars 2, I listened to it and I was like, this song is really, really good.
Mm.
It had to have like 400,000 streams, maybe like 20,000 likes. And I was like, we should run this through my network.
400,000 and 20,000 on SoundCloud?
On SoundCloud. So it was like
on his own page.
On his own page.
Yeah.
It had momentum, but nothing. At that time, that's not much. That's like a good song.
Yeah.
And I was like, we should run this through my same network. So now we have the juxtaposition of both songs going through the network. Love Scars 2 became a platinum record from that, and it started from that repost.
You broke that
then
record.
Then they went and shot a music video. Now I never say I break records. I sparked it.
Okay.
I've become the spark for a lot of records. And so at that time, I was like, we should do this song. I think this is the one. We did it, and I was right. And they were like, that was amazing. And at that time, they were like, hey, you should come work for us. And I was like, respectfully declined. And then the next artist he hands me was 6ix9ine. No music out. But I looked at him, I'm like, this guy's crazy. And then they play, I can't believe, I was like, I mean, that was the thing at the time, you know, a little pump and like looking crazy. I was like, it's probably gonna work. That's what I said. I didn't hear the music yet, but then it was Gummo. And the moment I heard it, that beat, I was like, oh no. I knew it. I was like, this one's gonna, I knew that one was gonna go, I knew that was gonna go so crazy. He dropped it on his page. We ran it through our system. It's going absolutely nuts. It's going so nuts because at that time they didn't have, on SoundCloud, you didn't have a way to do takedowns.
Right.
So there was like 5 or 6 other Gummo 6ix9ine songs. And because 6ix9ine spelled his name weird, there was like 5 or 6 6ix9ine accounts. So what I did to get all the, because we wanted all the plays to go on the same track, so it would go to the top 50 charts.
Right.
So I went to every account and I was like, I work for 6ix9ine. Can you please take down this account, like respectfully? Like we want to make sure all the streams go to him so we can go up the charts. Every single account was just like, we love 6ix9ine. If this is the official account, we'll take our accounts down.
Oh, wow.
And SoundCloud was like a community.
Yeah.
They wanted to see the artists that they support actually make it. But at that time, 6ix9ine didn't have an account. So people were grabbing it from like YouTube or his Instagram, however they found it, and they brought it to SoundCloud.
And they're okay to take it down because nobody's getting money from it.
Nobody was getting money. Yeah. No, at that time, no one was. There was a point where
so this is truly fan-driven community.
For sure.
Well, and
for sure.
For the most part, people aren't getting money. They're not thinking of it the way you're thinking of it.
No, yeah. And so Gummo was the next hit that came through my SoundCloud network. And from there, I don't know, one of my partners, he was good with like, you know, spreading the good word, you could say. That was whenever that's when my marketing career started. Because then I started getting hit up by Epic, Columbia, Interscope, all of them, to be honest with you.
And did you start working with, well, you went and tell me about your journey with Columbia, because you were with them for a bit, but I guess you chose them over the other ones, or did you also work with these other companies?
Columbia was, how old was I? That was crazy, being that young at the time. Columbia is where I started to see the vision for Instagram.
And for those who don't know, Columbia is a major label under the Sony umbrella.
Yeah. And so at the time I go there, Ron Perry,
Oh, Ron Perry's already there.
he
So
just got there.
so
Him and Juba walked me in. Juba walked me and my partners in.
okay.
So Juba found, I actually don't know how Juba got a hold of us, but Juba found us and he was like, these are the guys that did SoundCloud. And then when we went in, I was like, yeah, SoundCloud is like a thing, but the next thing is Instagram. And then he was like, I'm all ears, Ron Perry. And then we gave him a pitch. My partners threw in some diamonds, and then we got our first.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Threw in diamonds. Like everyone was shooting on all cylinders. Like it was us three sitting across from Ron Perry, and we were just pitching that we are the marketing team that you need to hire.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And that was our first consultancy.
Crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So and the reason why they brought us in, Ron Perry comes in there. Columbia, if you don't know, at that time didn't really have any hip hop artists at all.
Yeah, that's right.
Before Ron Perry, they didn't have any urban acts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was just not what they covered because they had RCA doing that.
Epic
and RCA.
Yeah, RCA has a little bit similar. I don't remember a lot of hip hop artists on RCA.
Well, they have the R&B there, and then
they definitely have R&B and
the
the pop.
The hip hop
like
was
Alicia
for sure
Keys.
Epic.
Yeah, that's hip hop. That was L.A. Reid and Sylvia.
So, but at this time, trap music this is 2017. Trap music is having a moment.
Yeah, because prior to Perry, Rob Stringer was at Columbia.
Yes,
that's right. So that's Adele. That's like Beyonce, I believe.
Yeah. And so when Ron Perry gets there, he's like, we're starting like an urban department. And so he wanted us to come in and basically help him break his urban acts. And the first acts we got handed was Little TJ and Polo G.
Oh, shit.
And they had 30,000 and 70,000 followers at the time.
Mm-hmm.
SoundCloud, well, trap music wasn't breaking on SoundCloud.
Right.
Trap music was kind of breaking a little bit everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was on SoundCloud, it was on Instagram. I just saw it on YouTube for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so I noticed that there was a big meme culture happening. There was a meme moment, I would say, happening on Instagram. And we started meme pages. I started building them. I brought in a team and I basically helped have them help me build them. And I built a following of, I think when we were at our peak, we had 4.5 million followers across
a bunch of meme
5
pages?
meme pages.
What meme pages did you have then?
One of them was called @Datway. One of them was called I can't remember, drilled it was like drilled V2 or something, but it was like one of them I can't say the name. It was crazy. One of them
okay.
Yeah, so we had a bunch. I can't even remember them. Big Boy, like one of them was called @Big Boy Memes. I don't know, they were random.
Okay, sure.
It was like the most random things you get. The meme universe was so random this time. But this is I'm like, this is high engagement. Highest engagement on the internet at the time was meme pages on Instagram. This is before TikTok.
Yeah.
And I thought like, oh, Little TJ, I'm consultancy, so I'm like, we need to break Little TJ and Polo G. I'm like, how do we do that? What I did, and this is when tagging, remember when tagging became a thing on the post?
Yep.
Because if you would tag in the caption at this time, people would be like, ad, and they would swipe. But tagging in the post became a thing. So what we would do is this is actually my idea, but I would take the post and I would say, who's the best 19-year-old rapper out now? And I would have Little TJ, Polo G, and then 2 other people that weren't as good as them.
Okay.
And I would tag each of their faces. So you would click on the tag, and at that time, they could just click on that person, go learn about that person. And those posts, because we were in the community, we would just trade posts with them. So like, hey, I'll do a post for you, you do a post for me. We'll help each other grow.
On the meme pages.
Yes, because it was also a community.
Yeah.
And so we would just be like, we would get basically, Columbia's like, we need to break this. So we would take it to the meme pages. We would do an ad they would do like hey, you should follow this account. And they would just post whatever I asked them to post.
Mm-hmm.
Little TJ and Polo G had to have like tripled to quadrupled their followers within a couple months. And it was for sure from just the tagging.
What were some of the things that you did in order to market the music?
Well, I didn't have to. I would just send people directly to their page. And at that time, trap was just like moving. It's not like I was the only thing happening, but for sure, a lot of the Instagram growth, because they were moving on SoundCloud, they were doing the thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of the growth, like literally converting followers day by day, was coming from the meme pages that we were doing.
Yeah.
And another thing we would do is we would make a meme, put the song behind it, and then we would tag the artist in the post, so then they could hear the song, and they'd be like, we would say artist tagged in post, and so they would click on the tag, go to their page, followers going like crazy, and you got to mind you, like we're literally spending nothing.
How much are you spending? Yeah,
nothing, because I said it was all trade, because we had so many followers. People would want us to shout them out.
Who's we? What page?
We had That Way and all these other pages.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you have these pages, but then you're reaching outside of these pages, and
there's literally like 100 meme pages you could post on.
Yeah.
So we were just going to each one, and there was like some that were more urban, some were more like silly and stuff like that.
Some of them still exist.
They still exist.
Yeah.
All I know is
meme
Columbia
pages.
Consultancy. We were breaking artists from meme pages.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I mean, we actually worked with Columbia for
So how long did you work with Columbia for?
2 years. They hated us, the people in the building.
They hated you?
The
The employees that were working there.
Yeah, they hated us.
Yeah, because here's the thing. You guys are coming in, you're fucking kids, first and
We're
foremost.
kids. Well, I understand why I would have hated me too.
Yeah.
I wasn't being mean or anything.
I bet
I
you're
was
coming
trying
in
my
there
hardest.
moving real cocky, though, at the same time. Be like, yo, we know what we're doing.
For
you're
sure.
a kid. And you'd be like,
I was definitely probably cocky.
you're like, you don't know what you're doing over here. I'm like, why are these guys getting the money if we're the ones that are breaking the artists? You're probably moving that way a little bit, I would assume. Just as kids, you know what I mean?
For sure, probably.
And to be honest, there's merit there.
Yeah, I did know what I was doing. But no, I remember a specific conversation. I was sat in a room, and at the time, you're just so blind. You're blind how corporate systems work. You're also blind how insecure other people are. So when you walk into the room, I'm literally just like, some woman was like, I don't understand how you think meme pages can break artists. And I go, I don't understand how you think they don't. That was what I responded to her. I don't understand how you think they don't. Memes are literally life. I mean, at the time, and especially, and that was the only place on the internet where you could actually do stuff.
Yeah.
This rap and our generation music, you could do stuff. So that was part of the whole thing. So what I was doing was, I was doing meme stuff, and at the same time, I was building relationships. And I would put this on record. I probably, if not the first 2 people to go to these big pages, these big rap pages, and build a big relationship with them, and send them artists daily.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What did that look like?
It looked like, hey, TJ has a new song. Let's do something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Like, let's just say you send it to @rap, they fuck with it. They're like, all right, cool. Let's do the thing. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny, man, because I had like a similar experience, but I was having it as a manager because I'm understanding how this is starting to work. And I'm like, all these other things that we're doing, I'm like, they're vanity plays. They don't really work. Not the way that they were looking at it before. And I would get into these arguments as well, too, with digital people all the time.
Like a Forbes or a Rolling Stone type thing? Or
Yes,
okay.
like that a little bit, but then it would be like, sometimes it'd be like certain looks at certain broadcasts. I don't want to name them, you know what I mean? But like,
it was just the old
old guard.
Thing,
yeah. And at the major labels, the digital departments of them were saying that these are the ones that matter. It wasn't, to be honest, like a Rolling Stone. It was more like blog pages. Like some blogs, like we should go do this, look, and go do an interview here, and we
like written blogs.
Yeah. And then I was
I did this.
That's how we write.
I know.
That's how we write. He's got a typewriter here, bro. You hit the fucking thing. But and I remember just being on like these, like we do these promo runs, and it'd be like 3 days, and I'd be like, does any of this matter? Because right now, I'm with my boy on text, and I'm seeing the numbers that we're growing on by what he's doing. And we're not doing no promo with these digital pages, but I'm seeing the numbers run up, the followers run up, and it's correlating with the streams. So then I would get into these same type of arguments that you're talking about with certain digital people and certain record labels. And it would be a lot of like, I guess maybe the approach as well too was a little bit, unfounded, I guess, from my part, because I would say at a certain point, I don't think this works. And they would push back and say, well, what you do, we don't believe it works. And I'm like, I don't know how you don't see it that way.
They said to you that what you were doing on Instagram, working with some of these accounts, doesn't work? They don't see that working?
Politically, like in a political way, they would say it.
Yeah.
They would say it more, you know, it was a friendlier way to tell me that what we are doing doesn't necessarily work. But I don't necessarily think that they didn't think it worked. I just think that they needed to justify their job.
Yeah. No. That's fact.
And some of those people didn't have the relationships that we had. And that's where it started to become, it wasn't contentious, but it was definitely very eye-opening even early on for us to say, not to say, but like almost work in a vacuum. We'd be like, we understand the power of a major record label and we believe in it for certain aspects, but for certain things, let us do our thing, right? And that's how we operated a lot of the time. And we were left like with a lot of autonomy, you know, to build the career of Jesse.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And when they saw it working, did they start to think, oh, maybe he's onto something?
Never.
I never did.
Never.
Yeah, they
but low key, they are saying that, and they're just not actually giving us the credit. They're actually going and trying to figure out who the hell it is, and then go and do it for the other artists. Hold on to that relationship.
Yeah.
I've been on several calls. There was a lot of regime changes when I was working with Jesse at Island, and I got love for everybody that we were working through, like for the most part, right? But there were definitely phone calls I could have handled a lot better, to be honest with you, because like I was fuming after we get off certain calls because the label would take credit for ideas that I had. And it would be a full label call. And it would be all of a sudden like they came up with the idea. And in my mind, it was just one of those things that internally they had to deal with the politics of it. And they had to protect their jobs and their big cushy salaries. So they were pawning it off as if they were their ideas. I'm not going to say who. They know who they are. But it happened to me all the time. And I would get furious. I would be furious. And I would let that bother me so much because a part of me also was young trying to get after it and say like, where's my credit?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like it was kind of also like a little bit of like selfishness that I was, or I wanted credit. And I was like, that's not what it's about. At the end of the day, like my artist is popping, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't like how it was being handled, to be honest with you. It felt slimy to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm on these calls.
Yeah.
And these ideas that I presented all of a sudden are getting presented in front of my face as if it's their ideas. I was like, wow, this is wild.
Yeah. That's probably crazy. From my perspective, it was the exact opposite. As an agency, I would go in working with these digital people and I would literally tell them, go to your boss and tell them this was your idea.
Yeah.
Because it's from my standard, I want, like, if I'm working, especially if I work with a good digital manager.
That's smart. I didn't think of it that way. That's a smart way to do it.
And it wasn't even like it wasn't a tactic. A lot of my ideas would come from conversations with digital people, giving me context, dropping an idea at labels.
At labels?
Especially the good ones. When you sit with the good one, they'll give you an idea, and that idea will spark an idea from me. But then it's like, I'm not going to run and tell you, I'm not going to run and be like the whole world. I thought of this. If we're working together on this, I looked at it as a team thing. I would be like, yo, yeah, definitely go tell everyone and just go take all the credit. Because if I can lift you up inside of your company, then we can continue to have a strong relationship. And that's how I looked at it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I'm.
That's the right way, to be honest with you, because
I would agree, because a lot of people, a lot of managers, especially being a manager, is tough because you feel like, and I've been on a call with so many managers from the label side of things, and the amount of times I've heard them blow up on everyone, that never works.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
If you have a star artist like Jesse, you can get away with it. But if your artist
for so long.
Only for so long. But I mean, if you just, they can't do anything. At the end of the day, if it makes money, they have to deal with you. But if you're one of those artists that are coming up and you need the label, you want them to actually enjoy talking to you. Columbia, I'm very, very, very green at this time. Still running SoundCloud for all their stuff. Still running SoundCloud. At the time I was at Columbia, we actually worked out the deal.
Yeah.
Was that we would be consultants for them, but we could also have they wanted us to stay solo with them. But we were like, no, because if we are, then we can't tell you what other labels are doing.
Very smart.
So, yeah, so we were going around. I mean, truth of the matter is they were just using, I thought that was that was like a smart thing to say, but really labels just weren't doing anything until we came and we showed them what to do. Like we were very early in all this space. Yeah, very much. like
Yeah.
early Playboy days, after Magnolia, but early Playboy Cardi days, and everything Interscope for about 4 or 5 years.
So wait, you did Columbia and Interscope?
At the time that I was being a consultant at Columbia, I was doing everything at Columbia. I was doing a lot of stuff at Interscope. I was doing a lot of stuff at Epic, and then eventually, when Columbia ended, Atlantic became a big client of ours. And that was and a lot of that, all these clients, they heard about us through SoundCloud. Like I was doing all the SoundCloud reposts.
Yeah.
And the reposts were getting people charting. We were charting whole albums from just repost.
Wow.
Because repost, you had an unlimited repost feature.
Yeah.
It was like a hack. So I would just repost you over and over and over again until you hit the charts.
Wow.
And then that was how we got in the door with a lot of places. And then we would sell on the Instagram, and that would make people stay. Because once an artist saw themselves on all the blogs, seeded to all the blogs, it was over. Now forever, they had to be on all the blogs.
Yeah.
It was like crack for artists, because it's a vanity thing, but at the time, a lot of trap rappers, you're breaking them by going to meme pages and making sure that they're just everywhere there, however they can be. And then you're going to the rap blogs and you're just pumping. Like I'm talking back then, you could go crazy.
Yeah.
Because no one was doing it.
Right.
So it was early. So we had the deal locked in where we could still work with other people, and we still worked with Columbia, came back, and anything that we saw that was new, we would tell them. I actually did tell them stuff. And I would, if I had inside information, I would go to them. And one of the inside information things I did have, and I was thinking about it, how people really didn't think meme pages matter. And this was the moment where I knew that there was no disputing that. And it was Lil Nas X. Do you remember Old Town Road? Is it called Old Town Road? Yeah, Old Town Road. Do you know how Old Town Road even had its first moment? Like how it got off the ground?
If I'm not mistaken, he ran a really big Nicki Minaj fan page, Lil Nas X, because he was deep in the digital space as well, if I'm not mistaken. He understands.
He was very low. Yeah, like low to the ground.
Low to the ground on marketing. Like, he definitely understood it. And my understanding is that he broke it himself because a Nicki Minaj fan page reposted it or something. Maybe I'm wrong.
I didn't hear that, but I heard that was something he had. But I think he kept that under wraps till he admitted that he was
running the page.
Yeah. So
okay. So that's,
what happened
that's maybe
was,
what
from what I remember, because I didn't know who he was, but I heard the song before I knew who he was. So Red Dead Redemption 2 dropped. Do you remember? That's like a big game for Gen Zers.
No idea.
Yeah. So Red Dead Redemption, it's a
you guys all looking at me.
It's a cowboy game.
As you know, like
it's like
my crew is Gen Zers.
It's like GTA. Red Dead Redemption is like
each one of them I looked at each one and they're like, yes.
They all know?
Yes. Yeah. Look at it.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
Okay.
I love that game. So Red Dead Redemption is GTA, but cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just walk around stealing horses.
Okay.
You like pound and take the sack of gold, and you like run and you like rob bank. It's like, yeah, it's a Western.
All right.
So
Grand
anyways,
Theft Auto.
So that because that was like at the time there was no Twitch, so these kids are uploading them doing funny stuff on Red Dead Redemption to the meme pages.
Oh.
So what? That's why it's Old Country Road. So what Lil Nas X did was he made a song inspired by the game, and then in the song.
Is that a fact?
Yes, I was watching it in real time, and that song was just getting posted on every meme.
Oh.
And I was like, this song is so funny. I played it for my wife, and we were like laughing and having fun. And I hadn't had a song make me. I've heard a lot of songs on meme pages.
Yeah.
I hadn't had a song make me feel like that. Ever. I've been working on meme pages for a year at that time. I was like, this is different. So I actually took it to Juba. And I said, hey, like, you guys got to get eyes on this song. I'm here for marketing. So I'm talking to, and he's like one of the, Juba did everything. But I was like, you guys got to check this song out. Juba took it, from what Juba told me, he took it inside to the sales team. And at the time, it had like 6 million plays on Spotify, purely off of just memes. And the sales guy's like, this will never work. This song is not a hit. This song is not it. And then like a couple days go by, because we would go in once a week. I think a week goes by, and then I think the plays actually did jump. And Juba comes to me a little bit. I don't want to call him sweaty, but he's like very more like anxious, asking me about it. He's like, are you sure this song is a hit? I literally said to him, I've never, ever in my life seen a song move like this on the internet. This is before TikTok. This is Old Country Road is the first TikTok viral song that we've seen, but it wasn't TikTok. It was
Right.
through memes.
Right.
And so he's like, okay. Come to find out, a few weeks later, or maybe within a week of that conversation, they fly Lil Nas X out to New York, and they sign him.
No shit.
And they sign him.
No
And you
way.
know what's even crazier?
Tell me.
They didn't let me work him. I was the
Why?
market. I don't know. They didn't. I didn't. And looking back, I should have got a point.
Yeah.
I should have got a point.
But you don't even know what that
I
means.
didn't know what that was.
Right.
I knew what a point was, but I didn't know you could get them for like. That's a scout.
For walking it. Yeah.
Yeah, walking in early. This is early. 6 million plays is nothing. It has 200 billion plays. So I walked it in, and they signed him. And I thought the biggest slap in the face was that they signed him, and then they just never let me touch it because there was an internal I don't know if they knew I brought it in, but I think there was definitely people that did know I brought it in. But as soon as the marketing team got it, they never gave it to us to work. We're working Tyler the Creator. We're working every artist they have, but Lil Nas X.
And did you ask?
Hell yeah, I asked.
Yeah, and it just never came
But
out.
I also was like, we making money and we busy. I was like, let them have it. Like, I was just like, okay. I could tell that they didn't want me to touch it.
Is that when more or less the relationship with Columbia kind of ended?
No.
Okay.
We still kicked for another year after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you decided to step away from that, are you
No, Columbia got rid of us eventually.
Oh, okay.
Not on some bad blood. It was bad blood for the people inside, but Ron didn't, it wasn't like Ron was mad at us. Honestly, we ran our course, and I'll tell you the biggest mistake for the Columbia consultancy for sure was we were getting paid too much. That
Right.
was the issue.
Yeah.
Because that just puts a target on your back.
Absolutely.
And so I actually took that knowledge with me and was like, okay, because you're talking to the CEO can throw money around.
Mm-hmm.
But then in reality, the marketing department has eyes on this.
Yep.
And they're like, and they don't understand that we had a team of 8 people. All they see is the number
That they're paying.
And they think it's all going to me.
Right. Because you're the point of contact.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they're like, how these kids are getting paid more than them.
Yeah.
That's what they're thinking.
Okay. Let's talk about a few different things because I love this. This paints the whole picture of how you actually understand the digital marketing space. I'd love to talk about certain strategies that are happening today and what's working and what isn't, okay? So from your perspective, in today's day and age, like right now, end of 2025, going into 2026, what is working?
So it's changed so much. I'll say what was working and what is working. What was working 2020, 2021 during COVID was mass posting across every single blog and every single influencer. This is TikTok is at its height at 2020, 2021.
When you say blog, you mean websites? Or?
No, blog, like Instagram blogs, like music blogs.
Yes.
So music blogs and influencers.
Yeah.
You'd never seen so much money thrown at influencers than you have during 2020 and 2021.
Right.
Because we were locked down in COVID. So all the money for that you would use to shoot music videos, to do tour stuff, to do anything.
That shit was going to influencers.
Shit was going straight to influencers.
Just going straight to Charlie D'Amelio.
Yes. That money, well,
tens of thousands a post.
They were basically the industry was looking at, they were going to in management. I don't know how they did it. I'm going to keep this honest. They would go to influencer management companies and they would work with them, and then everyone would post the songs, and that was breaking music for about a couple years.
Yeah.
And so that is dead.
Yes.
That is absolutely dead.
So anybody that is spending money on influencer campaigns, worth it or not worth it? You're saying it's not worth it?
I wouldn't spend $1 on influencers unless they're cheap, and I wouldn't even think about spending money until my song was moving. And when I say moving, I'm talking about like hundreds of creates a day to thousands of creates a day. If you're not getting thousands of hundreds of creates a day on your song's not moving. If your song got 10 creates and everyone on the label's like, it's going crazy, it's not going crazy. It's not. I've heard indie labels, not major labels, but indie labels, be like, we did great, we got 100 creates. You spent thousands of dollars and you got 100 creates.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
So, okay. So just so people know what you're talking about, what are you talking about when you say creates?
Creates are when you go to the sound on TikTok and it shows you all the people using the song.
Yeah.
Like whether they're like in the mirror or they're dancing or they're just a meme.
They created
They
TikTok
created
video. Yeah.
using your song.
Yeah.
That's
So you
what a
could,
create is.
yeah. So you go to it and you see X amount of videos.
Yeah.
That's sort of user generated content.
User generated, yeah, that's the
UGC.
yeah, that's the term everyone uses.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're saying in this day and age, if somebody has created, if in 24-hour span, 100 video creates have happened for a song, that's not a big deal?
100 if it repeats again the next day,
Yeah.
and then it repeats again the next day,
Yeah.
and then it gets 150.
Yeah.
Now we're in momentum. If it gets 100 because you ran a bunch of posts, and then it gets 10 the next day, and it gets 5, it's done. It's done. I mean, I'm not saying you stop promoting the song.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you don't pour money into it. So to answer your question, what do you do nowadays?
Yeah.
The best people, like I have a page, people always come to my page. They think that my page is going to break them. It's actually flipped. The algorithm has changed in the favor for the artists and the artists that are creative and fun. And actually it's become like, back in, I feel like when we were younger, it was, could you perform? Could you record great music? Could you write great songs? Now it's like, can you make good music? Of course. Can you make good music? And then can you grab eyes? Or can you make content that people can gravitate to? And there's a lot of different ways to do that. And it's just, it's like it's an intangible.
Right.
Some people will just sit on the screen and just play a song and it's just mesmerizing.
So,
some people will be funny. And if you don't have one of those traits, or your music is not special, then you need to figure out how to get attention on your page. Because if you can't get attention on your page, no other page will help you.
Well, how do you get attention?
How do you get attention on your page? You be you.
Okay.
That's the being you, and honestly enjoy. When you can tell when an artist is like, oh, I have to do TikToks, instead of just falling in love with the process.
Yeah.
And I tell the artists, I'm like, if you don't post, if you're a nobody and you don't treat TikTok like a job, like treat it like a job.
Yeah.
I don't like you think I like doing accounting? I hate it.
It's the worst.
But I have to do it.
You got to do it
to get paid.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to do this to get streams.
Real shit. This business, there are going to be things that you love to do and things that you don't like.
And if you're an artist and you don't want to do that stuff, that's fine. Right.
Yeah, song right.
So I mean, I don't know.
That's even harder.
That's a whole nother thing. I feel for writers. They get so screwed.
That's a fact.
We need writers back. Like if anything, we figure out how I can't fix that, but we need writers back because I really miss the days of having writers and hit songs that everyone knows and agrees is a hit.
Yeah,
we get one of those every once in a while.
What's the last one that we?
Espresso? Is that one of them?
That was what, last summer though?
That was last summer.
It doesn't seem
what
like
was
it
one
was unanimously this summer. I was having
unanimous this summer. I don't know.
Couldn't tell you.
No.
You guys have a unanimous record?
Everyone has like a section, like R&B has Folded, Kalani.
Oh yeah, that's right.
R&B has her. That's
just now.
Yeah, that's the unanimous hit in my, and not unanimous, but I actually did a poll on my page. What's the best single from 2025?
I saw that.
I think I got 60-70% of the votes.
It was Kalani. I saw that.
Yeah, Kalani dropped the best.
You didn't put Mud on there. I saw.
Huh?
You didn't put Mud on there.
I didn't because I was doing release in 2025, and afterwards I was like, oh wait, that song hit the charts in 2025. Sometimes when you're thinking of posts, it's hard to take in everything. You're like, let's just pick songs from 2025, but Mutt should have definitely been on that list, and Mutt probably would have been close, if not first or second. It probably fully would have won.
But then it's after the fact, right?
Yeah. If I did, I could do one. I could do just one verse one and see what happens. But I actually think Folded might win just because it's hot right now, and it's hard to. It Mutt feels so old to me because I have been listening to Mutt the day that it dropped.
Me too.
And I've been screaming at the top of my lungs, this is the song of the year last year.
Yeah.
So to me, Mutt is old. So that's why I didn't put it, because it's old. To me, I'm on time with R&B. A lot of people are catching up. And a lot of the followers were like, where's Mutt? And I'm like, oh, I forgot that most people heard Mutt February when Chris Brown jumped on it or whatever.
True. Yeah. I feel the same way. I mean, that's a banger of a record. So, okay. So you're saying be you, but then where are the amplification stages? Because I agree with you, but at the same time, I'm going to kind of disagree with you because I think if there's, yes, you got to have something that's working.
Yeah.
Right? But I feel like it's kind of always been the case a little bit. Like the record's got to connect.
Yeah.
But you, my friend, you say you can't break records.
Who, me?
Yeah. Well, did you not just say that like through your page that you can't break records? But I feel like
Not the way it used to be. I would say blogs have lost a little bit of power. Blogs have turned into storytelling platforms rather than music breaking platforms.
and we got to be clear again. When you're saying blogs, you're saying IG blogs,
like
IG,
faceless pages.
faceless pages. That's
Faceless pages
yeah.
that cover music. So when I say blogs, I'm talking about faceless pages that cover. I mean, sometimes they cover gossip, but gossip and music are.
I keep it real though, bro. We've done some work together.
Yeah.
In many ways, you helped break my podcast.
Okay.
We'll go there. We'll go there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't say. I won't.
You want me to kind of get in how, like, whenever I see something, how do I tell the story?
Yeah.
Because it's like post. So one of the worst things you could do is just post your content on a blog.
Why'd you say okay when I said that you helped break the podcast?
Huh.
You don't think so?
No, I think I just helped tell the story.
Okay.
The podcast is ready to break.
Yeah.
I know how to tell it to the people
On a digital platform.
yes,
marketing side.
on digital platforms. I know how to make something that's working bigger.
Yeah.
And so that's why I don't look at it. The only thing I could really say I actually broke was like Trippie and 6, because that was like
As
fire.
soon as you did it, like direct correlation.
They were nothing at the time. I'm speaking directly
If you're trying to break.
for artists that have not found their path.
Yeah.
Or trying to find their path. And when it comes to with how I helped you with the manager's playbook, what it is like you need to I should be able to look at your Instagram or TikTok or Twitter, and I should be able to find out a whole lot about you.
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to be like, I know exactly what's going on here. I know what this is about. I'll have a conversation with you or the manager. Tell me your do's and don'ts. 9 times out of 10, your do's are terrible. That's okay. I don't listen. The last thing I'll do.
Me?
No, not you specifically, but
Not just me.
not just you. But I basically hear you out, and then I just actually do what's right.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's a lot of ways to do it. There's a lot of creative ways to do it.
Hold on. I'd like to know. So, like, what are some of the do's that you hear from certain management teams? And
Well,
then
for
you're just
example,
like, no, this isn't a good idea.
Well, sometimes I'll get a song and I love the song, and managers will ruin the song for me because of their perspective. I'll get a song, and I think it's great. I'm like, oh, this is gonna do well. It's doing well on your pages. I think it's gonna do well on other pages as well. And then they'll be like, yeah, but we want to highlight that he's a great lyric writer. But I just heard the song and the lyrics are terrible.
Okay.
And now I'm being forced to do something I know is wrong. Or you're asking me to do something is wrong. Now I'm trying to bend my mind around the manager's thoughts. Managers are sometimes way too close. And so they see it.
It's true.
They see it like, if I played you the song, which we're not going to, you're going to 100% agree with me. The lyrics are basic.
Uh-huh.
No one hears this song and thinks, wow, the lyrics. But the drums are dope. His voice is dope. It makes you feel good. These are the things, like, I think that's probably what I bring to the table is you give me a song and I can verbalize how I feel when I hear it.
Yeah.
And
do you communicate to them that, like, hey, this isn't a good approach?
Yeah.
Okay.
If not the first time. The first time, what I do is I'll do it wrong.
Okay.
And then I'll send it to them. And then I'll do it right and I'll show them the difference.
Okay. Does that create a risk for you though if you do what they want
Works for
you to?
me.
It works for you.
I have no risk from that because I'll tell them, I'll be like, I think we should do this, but if you want to do that, let's try it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how you go about it.
Let's try it. And so we'll try the idea and then I'll cook up a better idea and we'll just compare them. Sometimes they both don't work, but usually my ideas are better. And that's not because.
No, you're not wrong.
It's because I've been doing it for 8 years, 9 years.
This
now.
is the one thing that I say all the time is like experience in this business as a manager. And this is why I've always given so much of like the go carte blanche and do whatever you think works to the digital marketing people, because this is the shit that you understand. That's why I would have so many fights with the major labels, because I was like, you don't get it. These kids really get what the fuck is going on here. You guys craft it. Starting then to learn it and understand it a little bit better, I'd be like, yo, I got an idea. And that's where we would talk. And you'd be like, you would tell me, you'd just be like, we could try it. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna work though, because XYZ. I'd be like, brother, don't even try it if you don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah.
And that's why
I'm wrong though sometimes.
I'm not saying you're right all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like you get it right more often than not.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? But there are other times where, because look, the reality is when it comes to marketing, the manager's playbook. You're not the only person that I use. I use a bunch of a plethora of things. It'd be whether it's IG seeding with faceless pages, or if there's a TikTok, or if there's a marketing agency that does specifically TikTok and clipping.
Clipping is
you know,
big now.
when we can get into clipping, but you know, I'll use a variety of things. I'll see something kick off, and I'm, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm like, I'll see something kick off on one of the things that I've kind of activated, and I'll pay attention. I'll be like, yo, Austin, this shit has gone crazy. But before I even go to you, I'll repost it on my page. If you follow the breadcrumbs, you'll know exactly what post I'm talking about right now for the viewers at home. But I'll go and I'll repost it on my page. It goes crazy. I go, yo, brother,
Yeah, it's time.
this thing is going. And you're like, oh yeah, let's
So
reset.
you're explaining the process that labels skip. You basically test your content.
Yeah.
It's going well. You test it again. It's still going well.
Yes.
I have a hit. That's a hit. And what labels do, and this is what's wrong, labels get a song and they say, we have X amount of budget. Song comes out this day. We need to spend money that day.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Give me one reason why. Let's do it on Friday. Why Friday? Because that's the day of release. Well, you know, Young Thug just dropped on Friday. Sabrina Carpenter just dropped on Friday. Justin Bieber just dropped on Friday.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone cares about X, Y, Z? No, they don't. And I'll tell you why. Because you can't even get them to care on your page. I don't even understand why you would even come to me unless you have something that's moving.
Yeah.
Like you said, you came to me whenever you was like, this is a winner. If you don't have a winner and you come to me and you beg me to spend your money, I will tell you I don't want to, and I'll do it. But then there's also, they're handcuffed at labels where they have to spend money. So it's this weird system where it's like they don't spend money correctly. How many agencies I know, not naming them, they get your money and their goal is to spend it as fast as they can. So then they can ask for another budget.
Yeah.
That's not how I work.
Spray and pray.
Spray and pray. I will do a post or 2, 3.
Yeah.
And I will be like, hey, everyone, we have 10 more posts, but it's going bad. We should stop spending money.
Yeah.
And it's hard though, because now we have to track it.
Yeah.
Now we're like, oh, we still have X amount of dollars left in our budget. But I'd prefer to do it that way because these artists, this money is like sometimes a lot of these artists, this is all they got for their whole album.
Yeah, real shit.
Imagine if you spent all of that and you saw like getting one comment on every page. And the worst thing, and I always say the worst thing you could ever have on a page is nothing.
Yeah.
I'd rather have people be like, what the hell is this? Than nothing. Silence is terrible. Mediocrity in music is terrible. Look up, you know Georgiana? You know the white girl that raps?
She sounds familiar. Not
She's terrible, but she's also like kind of good.
okay.
I hate it. But with her, the first time I saw her, she made me feel something.
Okay.
Even if it's negative. Like there's people in the world that like are like, oh, this makes people mad. I'm gonna like it. But if you're just giving us middle, so that the negative stuff works too. And then obviously the positive is harder. I think the negative stuff has a short life. Like she's gonna live not for very long. So I don't mean to come for you, Georgiana, but the truth is like you're good, but you're not great. And the reason why people like you is because you're different. You're doing crazy movements and you're in a space that's not your space and you say funny bars. If you tried to make a real song, like a Kendrick song, like we're actually saying stuff, no one on the planet would listen to it. They're only listening to it because it's a shock factor. It's bad. And most people are on post saying it's terrible.
Yeah.
But that pushes it up.
Bad will get you up the algorithm because you're sharing it with other people. Exactly.
Because you're laughing at it.
Exactly.
You laugh at you, but the thing about music is, and we're dumb. I actually don't believe we're dumb apes. But the saying we're dumb apes, right? If you play a song enough, you're gonna like it eventually.
Yeah.
Like there's so many songs like that. How many times you're like, I hate this song. 5 weeks later, you're like, damn.
I know for a fact, maybe not 5 weeks later, but I know that for a fact. You know why? Because I came from the music video business.
Yeah.
And in the music video business, what you have to do, you have to run something called playback. So the artist can hear the song, mimic the lyrics, and they perform the record. You are hearing the song in one day 40 fucking times.
Yeah.
So by the end of the night, on a 12-hour shoot, I'm driving home singing this terrible ass pop song that I can't get out of my head, and it's about another 72 hours that I can't get that record out of my head. The only reason I forget is because I don't want to hear, I don't have to hear that song afterwards. But I know that from the music video world. Repetition is the mother of all learning.
So if it's bad, you're going to hear it more because it's going to just fill up the feeds. And people are going to post it because pages are going to post it because they're getting the reward of comments and engagement.
The best
so you have bad stuff getting posted all the time because it gives engagement to the page. And then now you have bad music that breaks and you have great music that breaks. And and this is back to my point, mediocre music is the worst place to be.
Yeah, good is not good.
Good is not good anymore.
Yes. You know, to validate even what you're talking about, and I don't mean to throw shade on her. I think she understands this as well. Everybody remembers that Rebecca Black Friday song.
When you have a winning piece of content, you'll know nowadays. Before 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, I don't think you would know.
Okay, so what are some, I feel like I know what you're going to say here, but I genuinely want to know, like, what are some of these pieces of content that you think are winning in today's day and age? I know you say be yourself, but like, is there anything specific? Is there trends? Are trends dead?
No, I don't think trends.
What's that?
I don't think trends work for artists. What works for artists nowadays? So I'm thinking of a few artists that I see online.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I'll give you an example of like Sasha Keeble, of like Kamari, and they do a more artistic view. They basically what a lot of and specifically in R&B artists, and I've seen it in other places too. I remember there was an argument online with some old R&B heads, and they were saying that it's only art if the camera is horizontal. And that if you change the camera this way, vertical, it's no longer art.
I remember that.
That was an argument.
I know.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I was a part of that generation. My generation.
That's your guys. That's crazy, right?
That was and I fought
Who gets to choose the canvas?
Brother, when that was happening, that's when I knew it was the death of the music video business.
Oh, they were
because like that came for our food. This content and this style of marketing came for our food.
Yeah.
And so when I had to explain, and my partners understood this, but when I had to explain, hey, we need to shoot vertical videos while we're on set because this landscape stuff over here, it's not working the way, it's too polished. And it took a minute, you know, for them to really get what I was saying, but I'm like, this is just the way that the kids are connecting with it. I get you. I like it this way as well. That's what I grew up on.
It's film. It's cinema.
It's film. It's cinema. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
But it ain't the wave anymore. So we got to get with this.
Yeah.
But other people, there was people still from my generation will fight me on that shit.
I'll give you examples of like Samara Sen. She has this video with Overcast, and maybe we can throw it up on our thing. Oh, we probably can't.
Yeah,
let's do a
you
picture
can.
of it.
Yeah.
She's literally in front of like a Tommy's Burger in LA. She has a cool fit on. Looks cool. And she's rapping her shit, and there's a spinning billboard behind her, and they color graded it.
Mm.
And it's as soon as you see it, you're locked in. That's art.
Yes.
And another thing is, if you see an artist and you don't, as a person, you don't want to be them or be next to them, then you're not cool. And being cool is just I think the silent people, it's the silent killer, I guess. Like if you don't look cool to us, people that want to get into you, especially early stages,
right?
Like the people that are going to adopt you early are going to adopt you because they think you're sick, or they want to be a part of your wave, or want to follow you because you're stylish, you got this thing on for you. Sasha Keeble did the same thing. She's made these dope videos, and I honestly, she was one of the first ones to really do it correctly. And then you started seeing it happen a lot. Mm-hmm. Like K1 started coming out with videos, and K1's short form content are going crazier than her music. If I post her music video on my page, or I post her short form, the short form goes up. Because the story format of the horizontal thing, they do all these cuts and these pans, and they're only in the frame for sometimes. You have so much time, and you have 20 seconds. I'd rather see K1 popping her neck and her shoulders for 15 seconds than a video of her talking to a girl on the screen, not interacting with you. When they're looking in the video and they're looking in the camera, you feel like you're being interacted with,
Mhm.
which is the hook. Which whenever people give me content, I say you better have your artist look at the camera, or at least their face needs to be in view of the camera. If they're like doing this, done, don't send it to me. And if all we have is a music video where they're like looking around and stuff, that's not bad. Best practice though is look at me.
That's Jesse Reyes figures.
That Jesse Reyes does it probably one of the best.
Yes.
I think her reels game is, and her reels game was crazy this year. Probably, I think
She snapped.
she snapped. Like her reels were going up every 2 weeks. One would get a 500,000 likes. You're like, that is, I don't care how big of an artist you are. That's some good numbers. That's like we're talking about like Kardashian numbers sometimes. like it's crazy. I mean, the size that for where Jesse's following is at and the interaction she's getting on her page has to be A+.
It is.
Yeah, it's literally probably the highest grade you can be at her size.
Yeah. I looked at it the other day because to what you're talking about here is like generally when the followers go up in the tens of millions, or I think she's at 5 million now, your engagement will naturally decline. Hers doesn't.
I know.
Hers stays consistent.
She's shooting videos
Very hard to do.
for the platform.
Yes.
And that's the strategy. And that will always be the strategy. Or that will be not always. Let me take that back. That's the strategy right now.
Yeah.
And if you're catching on to it now, you're a year behind.
Yeah, and that's her and the team that, for the most part, is still this exact same team that did since I was there, that was shooting the content. It was either Dane Collison, shout out to Dane, and Philip.
Yeah. And I'm not saying
and Jesse, obviously,
Yeah.
and Byron and Jeremiah, they're all involved in the conversations and strategy, and Anil.
Yeah.
But like, team's pretty dialed in, man. Always been dialed in. Just having a good team who really understands how to continue to move forward with the medium. You know, and Jesse pays attention to all this shit always.
Yeah, she's still hungry.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, that's how I would recommend artists when it comes to now. And I don't think I'm saying anything new, but I'm going to reiterate it because so people that say this, they don't run campaigns. I ran 6 campaigns today.
What does okay, crazy.
Today.
What does a campaign?
It's a Friday, by the way, so it's a busy day.
What's a campaign consist of? And why is it a busy day on a Friday?
Everyone drops their music.
So everybody wants to run their campaign. Okay.
Yeah.
So what does a campaign consist of?
So a campaign consists of, the way a campaign works is like, hey, like we have this song we want to produce. That's usually, or push. That's usually the start. And they're like, you have a relationship with all these pages. Which pages do you think this will fit on? And I have a deck of hundreds of pages. And these are faceless pages. I have a whole nother deck of influencers, but I don't like influencers because I prefer storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think influencers are great. I'm not saying don't reach out to influencers or work with them. I don't work with influencers. If I'm working with an influencer, they're either really good or they're doing some type of storytelling. Because I think in the world today, you have to tell your story or you're just another artist that drops a song. And we know from the stats that everyone probably spews that Spotify has, with AI, probably more uploads a day than ever. Probably every day a new high.
It's like 300,000, every day.
So the only thing that's gonna break you out is, first of all, you know who you are and give that to your audience. Even if it's 30,000 people, give it to them, but then I can take that and give it to more and bring them back here, and then you can grow like this.
Yeah.
And the story is, from a basic sense, is when they give me an artist, I'm like, where are they from? Maybe that helps me. But that does help me understand why they make the music they do. What other artists do they see themselves in the future? That's a big one. Because if I know where they want to go, then I know what pages to put them on. And another thing is just like what I will do, and this will not be from the management, I will look through the entire internet, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and I will go through every comment section on their page, and I will screenshot everything that I like, that I'm like, I like that. That's funny. And I'll go to their YouTube comments, I'll screenshot that, like, okay, that's funny. And I'll just compile everything that I can find out about this artist and like quick little things and it'll be little things like a joke. I will, if it's a funny joke and maybe in cause an emotion out of me, or maybe they made a connection like, oh, you look like this person from this group. Let's say you look like this person from New Edition. Like you look, and I will be like, I didn't know you looked like that person. I'll look it up. Now I have a narrative. I thought this was so-and-so. Now, and that cooks people, and they're like, and people are gonna listen to you, and then people are gonna agree in the comments. So one of the things you don't want to do is you don't want to go on the page and be like, new artist, drop new song. What can we say that just gets people to read and then look at, like, how can I get you to stay for 4 seconds? And it could be anything. It could be anything. If you just make up something, say it, get people hooked, then they hear the song, and then if they like it, they're gonna be like, they're gonna engage.
I'm curious. Do you think artists should even be saying at all now, if in the captions, if a new song has dropped?
I mean, for artist pages, you should.
For their artist page. But a lot of times when artists do that, it doesn't connect.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I would do it if I was an artist. But so you explain to me, what have you seen? Have you seen posts when people drop the song do less than other posts?
Generally, whenever it says new song, song out now type shit.
Yeah. It adds, you know why? Because song out now adds no value.
And it's you're right. There's no storytelling around it unless that piece of content is really good, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that. I'm sure there's outliers, but I'm not. I don't look at artist pages probably as much as you do from the inside, but I wouldn't be surprised if song out now posts do not as good as a picture with their mom.
Yeah. Traditionally, it hasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you talked about Twitter X, and you said
I call it Twitter.
Yeah, it's Twitter.
I don't know.
But you said
you
would say that it's still very impactful.
Yeah.
Okay.
For hip hop, yeah, more.
For what genres? Okay, hip hop, R&B.
Like, yes.
Okay, how come?
That's a good question. For hip hop, it's basically one of the only places you can go if you're an underground hip hop artist is Twitter. To try to break.
Why?
Because there's no Instagram pages and TikTok doesn't care about hip hop. Like, I'm talking about New York Nas style hip hop.
Okay.
Like real hip hop, which I love. Nas is my favorite rapper. And so it's just sad to see that part, like people talking about.
We're talking about
real stuff or like
Nasir Jones, by the way.
Nasir Jones, not Lil Nas X. Respect to Lil Nas X. I never thought he would make it past Old Town Road, so he did that. He went crazy.
Fair.
He went crazy. So respect to both. But hip hop only exists in a few places online. It's the hardest thing to push on the internet right now. And that makes me, that's alarm. And now everyone's going to do it because I'm going to say it. But that gives alarms to me that it needs to be built. Because R&B music was not doing. Since I've started my page to now, there's been a percentage of growth yearly from R&B streams. And you've seen money enter R&B over the last 5 years, more than the 5 years before.
That's a fact.
And I think that not just my page, there's many pages like me. To be fair, I led the charge. Like, I kind of showed everyone. I was the blueprint for a lot of people. Now there's pages, I'll be fair, doing even better than me. Because, but the way to build a page, I built that blueprint. So many R&B pages popped up from it, and I'm thankful for every single one. Because we need to, if we're not telling this story, the genre will die. Hip hop is dying because no one is going out there and being like, I'm going to build a place for us to tell the story.
And because it's in a positive light, who are some of those pages? Or what are some of those faceless pages that you think are doing it?
Well, there's so many pages, so I can name them out that are great. Gen Direct is great. Cam Sullivan, R&B Radar, is probably one of the best when it just comes to just putting you on to gems, and also the way they do their posts are great. He's like he's like bought in on that, so he does really well there. I like R&B Lounge a lot. Their upcoming page. That's 4. There's so many good ones. If I didn't say your name, I'm sorry, but there's so many good ones I work with.
You know what I'm also hearing from this conversation that I think is super dope is like, I've asked you this before. I'm like, you still think that these faceless pages can break artists because so many labels
over time.
Yes,
not one post. You got to do it, and then you got to continue to do it for 4 years. That's what I did. We did with Vic.
When you say Vic, you're talking about Victoria Monét. She was known primarily as a incredible songwriter
in the industry.
in the industry. General public didn't really even know who Victoria Monét was as an artist, but that
As
was
an
her
artist.
goal, to
Yes.
become an artist.
When it came to getting Victoria Monét, we went, all the blogs that I just talked about, we went to those blogs hard. But when we went to those blogs, we went with a purpose every time. So they played me Jaguar 2. And this is, and mind you, this is right after I had the company. We were with Columbia, we were doing Interscope, we were doing Atlantic, we were doing all this stuff. Me and my partners broke up. So now I'm a loan shark, lost all my clients, and I had to start from ground zero. The first artist that I get is Victoria Monét. And I was like, dang, do I take this? Like, I don't know what to do. And I listened to Jaguar 1, and I was just like, I can't believe that she dropped this and no one knows about this. And this is my introduction to D-Mile. Like, I knew he did Painted, but then I looked up and I was like, oh, there's D-Mile again? Like, this is a beautiful piece of art. And no one talked about her. So I was like, I'm going to work with them closely, and I'm going to start posting her as much as I can that makes sense on my page, because I wanted to be the one to be like, hey, here's the next star. Like, as a page, you want to find artists, you want to champion them. So Victoria Monét was going to be the artist I did that for Lucky, and now I was going to do it for Vic.
Okay.
Because it's that's my vibe, like Lucky, Vic, El Mean. These are like my favorite R&B artists. And with Vic, they talked about her writing. They played me some of her music. And I didn't know what to do with her at first, because I'm like, what are we going to talk about? I was like, okay, we're going to talk about Ariana Grande. And then we're going to basically be like, you know, I can't believe a black girl is behind Ariana Grande's biggest hits, which was a shock to me.
And I do remember that narrative online.
That was a huge one. We ran that up. We ran it, and then the internet just started posting it.
Okay.
I ran it on my page first.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then from my page,
I didn't know that.
From my page, it was one of those things that didn't go viral, but every month someone would post it. And it just, because what happens is people see you post a good post, they save it, and they're like, I need content. They go through their saves, and then they post it. So
on their faceless pages.
On their Facebook. So it was one of those things that it was like a snowball. So everyone knows, before she drops Jaguar 2, everyone in the R&B spaces is getting hip to her because of her writing for Ariana Grande.
Yes.
And in the post, I also put some of her Jaguar stuff, and I also put the fact that she works with D-Mile, who works with Lucky Day. So I'm putting all these threads together before she drops.
Sick.
The thing that actually put her head up above water was we went to Soul Bloom. I got invited to Soul Bloom to shoot content, and she was one of the shows there. I think Jessie was there that year.
Possibly.
Yeah, she was. That's the first time I heard Jessie, and I was blown away. So I heard her. I was at school when we saw her live. So now we're gonna talk about it. But Victoria Monét was performing, and I was in the front, and I was, because I was in the media area.
Who invited you to
Soul Bloom?
Soul Bloom invited you.
Soul Bloom invited me.
Okay.
And I just happened to be working with Victoria. It was like stars aligning. And so I'm in the front row. They come out, and she has her dance squad. I think it's just 3 people, but I was immediately blown away. I've been talking to them for weeks. No one told me she could dance. I had no idea she could dance. I pulled my phone out. I still have this phone to this day. And I stood there for the entire set. My arms were about to fall off. I recorded the entire show on my phone. The part that I clipped down was the Sum Cut Challenge.
Before you get into that, and we're not going to forget that, why are you not putting your phone down?
Because I didn't want to miss a second, because I knew that I knew that we were going to go viral from this moment, because not a single R&B artist that was popping at the time could dance like that. And if there's one thing people love, is a performer, especially, I mean, we talked about earlier, R&B is something you experience. That's why you have to go to the show. That's why you don't need very many monthly listeners to do a tour.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I was experiencing something that the world needed to experience.
Mm-hmm.
And the fans that were there were like diehard fans. She had her diehards.
Yeah.
But no one knew how talented she was. No one had a clue. And I was shocked, took the video. I was literally like, on my way home, like, we're gonna break this shit. Like, I literally was like, we got it. Like, we have the moment I was unsure what I was gonna do, and then I knew. So I took that video,
Yeah.
and it's the Some Cut song where it's a dance break. It's not
Yeah.
even her song.
Yeah.
It was the Some Cut dance break. And I remember having a talk with the manager, and she was like, and this is a fair question. She's like, well, why wouldn't we push the music? I go, don't push the music. Don't push the music. If you push the music, people are gonna know you're pushing the music. They're gonna know it's paid. They're gonna know it's an ad. But if you push the viral, like I wasn't viral at the time, but if you push the fact that she is doing this this breakdown at this ability, people have never seen her. The moment you saw her dancing, you're just like, oh, this is a star.
Mm-hmm.
And so we took that moment, didn't put anything about her music. It was just like Victoria Monét tore the stage up at Soul Bloom.
Mm-hmm.
That little video, we posted on my page, posted on the other page, and then it just started catching. And people were, there was a comment on my post or one of the posts, and it literally said, you need to do a choreography breakdown to this song. I took a screenshot, I sent it to them. I'm like, do this. They do it because it's a brilliant idea from someone else. No, that's another thing. My ideas don't come from me. I just watch. If you work in digital marketing, and this needs to be clipped down, and if you work in digital marketing and you don't read every comment under every post, you're not doing your job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, go back, quit digital marketing. They leave their job and they go, I'm done with that. And that's okay. That's fine, but you're not going to be great at your job.
Right.
If you're not reading comments. Comments is where everything begins and ends. And my best ideas come from comments.
Wow.
My absolute best ideas. This is not my idea. This is an idea I saw and I gave to them. I was like, we should do this.
Yeah.
They do that. Some Cut Challenge gets some momentum for her. And that to me, I'm like, I would rather make you a piece of the culture. This is how we make you, this is how we insert you in the culture. And then the music follows.
Yeah.
She can dance. She wrote for Ariana. She has good songs. We basically set up the field perfectly for her to play on when Jaguar 2 came. Because we did all this and more. We did more. We started posting her daughter, started posting other stuff she'd done. We were doing posts months before Jaguar 2, into Jaguar 2. When she dropped her first song on Jaguar 2, it was like Smoke or something. We just did that. We were posting that on R&B pages, posting on my page, putting it in carousels, making sure people see it. That wasn't the breakout moment, but it was just like, that's a good moment because Lucky Day and D-Mile and her have that relationship.
Right.
And then that was like, we did all of that song plus all the points that we had before. Another thing we did was we would we would screenshot her lyrics. She has like the wildest lyrics ever.
Yeah.
So we would take screenshots of her lyrics and then swipe to the song. Jesse is someone you can do this too for. Screenshots of lyrics, swipe to the song. And that was another tactic we did where
it's great writers.
We're not just talking about them. Like when you're a great artist, you have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah.
She didn't even do anything and we already had 6, 7 ideas. Then she started dropping music and it was every single song was like this. During her rollout, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
What was the moment with Mama?
At that point, she took it and ran with it.
Got you. Yeah,
that. I was basically like, it was out of here.
You're along for the ride at this point.
I would say I did everything I needed to do to on my mama, and then from there, and then there was narrative stuff that we did throughout the time after, but that was like. All the work that I did was for that moment.
Yeah.
If we didn't do that work before that song, I don't know if it would have the ground that it did to stand on.
This is one of the main reasons why it's so important when you hear that story is everything on in today when it's breaking an artist. It's not necessarily because you need to tell the story of who the artist is, but it's because there is it's a very strategic component when it comes to the marketing perspective of what you do with these faceless pages to tell the story and the narrative online, to see that, to make sure that permeates through the algorithms and constantly tell that story, because the story matters more than anything else. Really, right? I mean, 100%. Don't get me wrong. A great song is a great song.
Great song is a great song, yeah, but a story it's easy. I think it's easier to tell a great story and build a fan base than it is to have a great song that is undeniable. Because you get one of
absolutely.
you get one of those a generation. You
That's
know
what
I
I'm
mean?
talking about,
Yeah,
man.
like,
You're lucky if you're an artist
Yeah.
that gets a great song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah, it's
If you get multiple great songs,
crazy.
well, you're fucking prolific.
yeah. And there's very few of those.
Especially in this day and age.
It doesn't even barely exist anymore.
Yeah. Why do you think that?
Spotify and SoundCloud changed everything.
Okay.
They made it so that you could choose what you want. There was more choice. I think the fact that it was just you could just upload.
Yeah.
More people, and now you don't need studios. Oh yeah, that's something I wanted to say today. Never build a studio.
A recording studio?
Don't.
Oh yeah.
Don't spend thousands and thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars that it takes to build a studio, unless you already got it like that.
Yeah, that's
If you got it like that, okay, do your thing.
Yeah.
But if you're upcoming, you're a manager, you're an artist. If you're gonna build a studio, if you're like, oh, I want to invest in like a space, like buy a home and convert a room.
Sure.
Don't invest in like a leasehold doing studio, because this is my point though. Studios to make great music cost almost, it's very small.
Yeah.
To make great music,
Yeah. The cost of production.
it's a laptop, some speakers, and a microphone.
Yeah.
And obviously there's levels.
Yes.
But you can make a hit song from those three things.
For sure.
And a preamp, so 4 things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've seen it.
Yeah.
We know there's plenty of them.
We
Pump.
We see it all the time.
Little Pump, literally, I used to, my studio, well, not my studio, the studio I used to go to was next door to Little Pump studio in the Valley.
Yeah.
And it was a white table with red cups everywhere and speakers. And it was the jankiest thing you ever seen.
Yeah.
They was making hits in there.
They're making hits. Yeah.
Making hits.
You ain't got to spend the money in order to make these hit records like that anymore, man.
Yeah.
That's just, it's especially in that time. One thing you said earlier in this conversation, I want to go back to. You said it's very easy to get to 1 million followers on Instagram.
Nowadays. Much easier now than it was.
How?
Reels.
Okay. What does that mean?
So Reels, so Instagram and TikTok, they figured it out. And this is my belief. I think they figured out to get people to engage more with their platforms, they have to have the possibility to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Where there was a long time for Instagram, if you didn't have it, you didn't have it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like the haves and the have-nots. They've made it so you can start from zero and grow to 1 million followers in a year, which was not possible 4 or 5 years ago. That's why I've started 4 new pages. I'm like, cool, that's the game they want to play. Like they're punishing the big pages, they get the love. The middle pages are getting punished. The smaller pages are getting the growth. That's the game nowadays. So I'm like, okay, I tried to be mad about it, but I'm just gonna.
You play the game.
So now I just built. I have 5 people coming in to just be like, we're doing page growth
on IG,
TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. Don't ever forget about YouTube Shorts.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
People forget about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. But I mean that YouTube Shorts is really where like astronomical growth can happen.
For sure.
Yeah.
YouTube's such a big platform too. I've had videos I post on YouTube, just like random like Chris Brown or Beyonce videos.
Yeah.
Hit like 30 million views. That's Instagram. It's like hard to hit. I feel like YouTube Shorts, they don't hit all the time, but when they hit, it's like
out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can go.
You should treat it like social media.
I still can't break that YouTube Shorts algorithm, to be honest.
When you do, it's a wrap.
I don't know what it is. Part of me also just thinks I should just create another YouTube channel and just run the shorts up. Just clip.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Invest in that. It should be cheap because it's just repost.
And what I could just do on those is like, to your point, just post on there the hits. No? The ones that have already worked.
I would post everything.
Fair.
I would treat it like it's called shit posting.
Yeah.
I would just
you just shit post the whole thing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then point back to your channel.
How?
You can link on Shorts. You can link.
Most people don't even click through to that, but I can see. But I mean, to me, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
I do.
Yeah, you see the engagement.
I click through.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
If I see a short and there's a link for the whole video, I will click on
never.
that.
I just swipe.
And then I'll but not everyone. You got to think. So this is how I.
No, get me wrong. We do it on YouTube.
Yeah.
My marketing person does it on YouTube as well, but I rarely do it, and I think there's rarely any conversion on it.
Really?
It's like 1% apparently, but a lot of people find it. I don't know.
If you get 1 million views,
You're right. That's a good point. It's 100,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
is it 10?
Well, it depends on the unique.
10,000 clicks is good.
No, 1,000,000 to 10%.
1,000,000 and 1%. You said it was 1% click.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yes.
So
yes.
10,000 clicks to your account is good, and that was free.
If they're all unique viewers, yeah. Let's call it that, just for argument's sake.
I think that would make sense. You wouldn't click on it twice.
Yeah, yeah.
So I 1% I love, because I'm trying to tell you, YouTube Shorts, sky's the limit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I look. Also, clipping, when it comes to face recognition, like it's and this, we can go in the clipping topic. Like,
Let's do it.
Clipping is a new thing, and I know people that run clipping channels, and there's honestly bad clipping groups, and there's good ones.
Yes.
And not every art. Another thing is, artists are all about, when we talk to them, can we clip? Can we clip? We're gonna do clipping. I heard this man clipping. We're gonna do clipping.
What's clipping?
Clipping is basically, in the first sense of clipping, it's clipping podcasts, clipping streams, and posting them on a bunch of accounts, trying to get them to go viral. And then what happens is you pay out based on how many views your posts have. So you don't own the channels. You basically have a group, Discord or whatever, and you're like, hey, I've got X amount of dollars. I'm paying this much for 1,000 views.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
Yeah.
And when this money runs out, you're done. And so all these kids are rushing, and that's the good part of a clipping. They're rushing to post, because usually you post fastest, you get the views. So if you just got done with the stream and you drop the stream link into your clipping group, you're like, go. These kids are gonna post rabid.
Yeah. Like
and so
savages.
So it spreads like crazy. It works great for podcasts and for streamers.
Yeah.
For artists, I'm skeptical.
Still,
I'm very skeptical. I'm not gonna say the artists, but I ran a clipping campaign using artist content, like short form content and live video content.
Yeah.
Used that. I did it. Same amount of money for a clipping campaign, and I did a seeding campaign where I worked with a bunch of pages that I know I'm following, that I know people love music. This one did, and this is all content, artist content, not like from streams or from from clips. This is music content. So music clipping onto random pages, and then seeding onto pages where music people live.
Yeah.
This one dwarfed this one. Now,
in terms of views.
Views, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And views. And then where I've seen clipping do absolutely wonderful, you go on Kai's, you happen to be fortunate enough to go on Kai's stream, and you run clipping, then yeah, that's kind of what it was created for. It was created for streamers / I think podcasters actually created it.
Podcasters crushing it.
Podcasters created it, but streamers adopted it. And then now it's coming into the music industry, and people are selling it like, oh, we're going to get you views. What is this view? Like, there's no comments on the post. I've seen so many clipping campaigns for artists where no one is talking about the song, because the song is behind just a random video of like metal being crushed, like those satisfying videos.
Yeah.
So it'll get 5,000 likes, it'll get 400,000 views, and I personally think in those clipping groups they're botting the hell out of these views.
It happens.
It's so easy.
It happens.
It costs 5 cents
to
get 50,000 views.
Yeah,
they're doing
sure.
it for sure. And then with that 5 cents they spent, they just got $5 back.
But I will counter that argument with a couple of things. So meme pages in 2018, it was kind of the same shit. There wasn't a lot of people that were talking about the music when it'd be like this random meme of something funny that happened. Then you'd have the song and you'd tag. Like after a while, the comments weren't about the song, but the comments were about the video, because they weren't even correlated.
Yes.
And so it was like, it didn't work, but somehow the music was still actually growing. On clipping pages as well, you're right. There are a bunch of that where you see like a fucking can getting sawed or whatever, some nonsense, you know what I mean? Or bottles being thrown down the stairs and, the sound or whatever it may be. And you see the comments have no correlation to the music.
If there are any comments at all.
If there are, but when
sometimes
there are. But I do think that it all does depend on who the kid is that is clipping that
There's some, basically
music.
there's some, you're basically saying some accounts are good, some are bad on the clipping side.
I'm saying, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because...
That's true. Some of the accounts are good, and then some of them are faking the stream.
I've seen it work. I haven't necessarily seen it break a song.
It's definitely broken a song or two.
Clipping?
Versions of clipping. There's like
I think
flooding. There's like flooding, clipping, AI. There's all types of stuff right now.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to
The mix
ask
of
you.
all of them has broken stuff for sure.
But it's a mix.
Yeah,
It's never just one strategy. It's a
Which means you
mix
need
of
a
a
lot
bunch
of
of
money.
different things. It's correct.
So
It's correct. It's correct.
So that's that. And to your point about
So wait, what's
the meme pages thing, where you're saying like,
Yeah.
how come the meme pages were posting the song and people were listening to it? Well, I'll tell you why. Back then, the meme pages, we actually had Discord groups for every single meme page.
Yeah.
And we actually called them our armies. So every meme page had a real following and it was a relationship. But the way Instagram and TikTok works now, you're just posting these Clipper pages. They're just posting random stuff. One goes, they're like, I got paid. They're not building a relationship
Yeah, that's real shit.
with the followers. So
Yeah.
we would even do stuff on our page where it would be
right.
like, that way army, go attack Diablo. And we would send all of our people to go mess with another meme page, and then they would see that we were attacking their page, and they would come attack us back. So it was a community. And
That's
if
hilarious.
a community, you put a song behind it, that's much stronger than putting it behind a video from a page you don't even know.
Yeah.
So if you see a page pop up on your feed and you're like, oh, this is definitely like a page just posting random stuff. You're like, oh, this is an interesting video. You go to their page, you're like, there's what's going on
What
here.
is happening
They
here?
move on.
Yeah.
You didn't that clip went
Yeah.
crazy, but you're not influencing.
Yeah, you're right.
That clip is the point. Like the influencing is not happening in clipping. It's the moment that's happening.
But this is
which
what
is a beautiful thing. I love it. I think
this
it's great.
this is what we talked about earlier. So I'll go and I'll spend say $1,000 on a clipping campaign, say of my podcast, for example, on trusted clippers, and then yeah, sure, a bunch of it might be bullshit, but if something fucking runs up, I'm gonna go and take that clip. I'm gonna see if I can repurpose it on another channel that I have. Did it run up? And is it real? Cool, it's gone up. Let me go. I feed it through phases, and then I get to you. With that phase at the end and be like, hey, see this over here because it's
working.
It's ran through my funnel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But again, just to your point, like, fortunately, I have revenue. I have money to do these kind of strategies. It's not like this is very hard to do this stuff if you don't have the money. You got to do a lot of organic when it comes to trying to break your stuff. I think at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did you just said a couple of things and then I'll let you go, brother. But you said there's AI and then there's what? Funneling?
Oh, flooding.
Flooding. Okay, so what are these things?
AI is like AI generated posts.
Okay.
Which is just like
What is that?
AI, literally AI making post.
How does that?
And using a sound.
Okay, how does that work?
I don't do it, but I know about it. I've heard about it.
Okay.
This
is my first time hearing about it.
The way it works is you train an AI bot to create content based on other content. And so you're just like, okay, we like this sound. And a lot of times, not all the time, but the way I've been pitched it was that we're not even gonna use the song. We're just gonna flood the sound with AI videos, so it pushes the sound up.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what it is. And then some of them will use the song like and it'll be AI voice talking about the artist. Like it tries to pretend to be a curator. And I've seen some of those go crazy where the AI voice is talking about like a Sabrina Carpenter, and you're like, okay, this is definitely paid. Someone is getting paid to do AI things and run up stuff. And you're not seeing a lot of them because most of them get 5 to 10 views, but the whole purpose is just to get the sound to move up.
Okay. And this is on TikTok and just anything?
Yeah, it's everywhere. As far as I'm concerned.
Does it predominantly live on TikTok?
I think it's
okay.
That's where everyone's trying to. That TikTok is where you convert the most streams.
Yeah.
So that's where money goes into sounds moving up the charts.
Yeah.
Instagram is where you tell your story. Twitter is a viral platform. You just try to say something crazy enough to go viral.
And
Twitter is like the worst engagement when it comes to like if I was to go to a guy on Twitter, I'll go to him 20 times. One of them will change an artist's life. 19 of them will get a couple thousand views.
Yeah.
Twitter, is lottery.
What about YouTube?
There's nowhere to really go on YouTube because YouTube people that do content on YouTube do not answer because they get paid from. They don't realize. Like getting a hold of a streamer is like impossible. I mean, some people probably can, but like try reaching. I've gotten to the point when I've even talked to streamers. You'll pay them, and then they won't do it because I don't know. Who knows why? But it's like it's just not a lot of money to them.
Okay.
Music is small money when it comes to revenue for streamers.
Sure.
100%. If they do it for you, they're kind of doing you a favor, and you should look at it like that because they have real money getting thrown at them.
Mm-hmm. What's flooding?
Flooding is probably similar to the AI thing, but I
Okay.
think it's more manual.
Okay.
Yeah, people just own thousands of accounts and just post random posts on the sound.
Got you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Best thing out there though, for sure. I mean, I think people know this is one of the best things is the fan pages. Like getting your fans to create fan pages for you and just like kind of like making sure you're in contact with them and like feeding them unreleased content that you don't want to post on your page.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's no different than you know, yeah, fan artist has a Discord page.
Yeah.
They got a few 100,000 fans.
That's probably where you should recruit them.
Yeah.
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 That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is very well known for people that are doing it, but maybe for some people that don't know, but getting your own audience to create fan pages for you is going to do the world.
What are some of the wildest tactics that you've ever done in marketing an artist or music?
Yeah. So the first one that comes to mind for sure was, do you remember an artist named Comethazine?
No.
You know, he was like a SoundCloud. He wasn't a big one,
No.
but he was a SoundCloud rapper signed to Alamo.
Okay.
You know Alamo?
Yeah.
So you remember YB and the Mirror?
Yeah.
Okay. YB and the Mirror. So I remember I told you earlier how I had all these SoundCloud pages.
Mm-hmm.
I had a SoundCloud page. I think it had 1 million followers at least, and it was called World Star Hip Hop. Remember when World Star Hip Hop was popping on YouTube?
Of course.
They didn't have a SoundCloud page.
Yeah.
So what I did because they uploaded like 3 songs a day. Every song that they dropped, I would just take the song, put it on SoundCloud. So people thought it was the official World Star Hip Hop account.
Amazing.
And that page was going crazy.
Yeah.
So YB in the Mirror drops a song. Might have been Bounce with that.
Okay.
This is one of his big songs.
Yeah.
He doesn't drop it on his Insta. If he would have, this is his fault. Actually, I don't want to say it's his fault, but I'm just confused to this day. Why wouldn't the song is going viral on YouTube? That music video is going viral, and he didn't drop it on his own SoundCloud.
Okay.
I was like, what the heck? And I only uploaded it as a natural cause of uploading everything. So I wasn't like, oh, that one's going crazy. I uploaded it. That song goes viral.
Mm-hmm.
It's number one. It's number one on the SoundCloud charts. The number one spot. And there's this funny thing you could do with SoundCloud is weird. On SoundCloud, you're not like hooked up to like, what is the ISRC thing?
Yeah, ISRC code.
Yeah, you're not hooked up to anything like that. So the song, you can edit the file. You can edit the name and everything. So what I did, I was cool with Alamo.
That's right.
I was like, yo, I have the number one song. Should we swap it out for your artist that's upcoming?
Wow.
And they're like, they're basically, I mean, they were like, don't tell anybody. It's been like 10 years and he's not even an artist anymore. But basically, they were into it.
Yeah.
They were into it. And so
swap that motherfucker.
So I swapped
it.
Comethazine. I forget the name of the songs. Woke up. No, that's someone else. No, that's Playboy. I can't remember which one it was. But I swapped the Comethazine song for the YB and the Mirror song. And everyone on the comments started being like, who swapped this song? Articles were written about it across the internet. And people in YB and the Mirror's team was like calling people like, who did this? And they're like, we don't know. Everyone's like, we don't know. It just happened.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
they didn't even know that.
So SoundCloud had to take that feature away. And then they took the song down as well. That was one of the craziest things we did. But people tell us at that time, they were saying that move broke Comethazine in their mind because he wasn't a huge artist, but he became a profitable artist. And he toured a little bit, and like he must have hundreds of millions of streams for sure, but he had nothing at the time.
Wow.
And so it was called bands. It's a check tugging.
Okay, yeah.
So we did that song,
Wow.
and that popped him.
Oh shit.
The next thing we did, I can't say the artist's name because I feel like he's still active.
Okay.
And they'll cook me. But we knew about a collab tape coming out. This was like 2018, 17-ish. And one thing, I have a lot of friends that are coders, which helps with a lot of things online. And one of the moves we did, this was crazy. They told us we have a song coming out. We have no content. We don't know what to do. It comes out Friday, but we need to build hype for this. So we basically, what are those like change.org websites?
Yeah.
Start a petition.
Okay.
We started a petition
Kickstarter type. Yeah.
because the artist had teased the album before, like 6-7 months or a year ago. And so we were basically like, fans are upset. They're starting a petition. They need these two artists to drop their tape already. We did that on a Monday, knowing this shit comes out Friday, but the people don't know. And so we take screenshots of it, and we're like, we're trying to get 50,000 signatures, and it has 3. We run that picture of the pictures of the artists. You swipe, and you see the change.org, like, fans started a petition online to get these artists to drop the album. We ran up, we got access to hundreds of thousands of proxies, and we had them all go log in and sign the petition. And then after that, the next day, we basically ran posts on all the same pages saying 50,000 people have signed that for this petition.
Hilarious.
And then we were getting on the actual website, you can do comments, thousands of comments.
On the actual website?
Yes,
Oh,
you can
of
the change, or you could. People were engaging with it because of the post.
Yeah.
And then they posted, like, they basically responded to the tweets and everything that was going. All right, we'll drop Friday.
Crazy.
And then they dropped.
Wow.
And that was like, they took over that whole week.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That one was fun. I'm sure I've done crazy some other stuff too.
Listen, I'm sure there's been some more crazy. We're gonna have another conversation, but
maybe in a few years.
You're no, way sooner than that. But like, you're the reason I don't believe that phrase, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Because you, not to say that you manipulate the numbers, but you actually understand the game to get the right traffic, you know? But it's the digital game.
I manipulate the minds for sure. I would say that. The mind, but in a fun way.
Maybe to me, I think of like, to me, the difference between manipulation and I would say you persuade, you know, because it's intent at the end of the day.
I always say that too. Like, I could never work in politics because I feel it's so dirty. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to get you to like a song.
Yeah,
if you like the song,
that's it. Yeah.
If I make you like a song,
or the artist,
did I make your life worse or better? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Probably made it a little better because you have a song you like now.
Yeah,
I persuaded you. I'm not manipulating you at anything crazy.
Yeah, the difference between
at the end of the day, the song, even if I can get you to click on the song and be like, I hope this is good.
Yeah.
Like, I like it. I like everything I've seen so far. The song still has to convince you. So I'm persuading you to give it a chance, not even to like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's how it goes. Yeah. Yo, awesome, man. I appreciate the time here, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. All right, sir.